Approximately 15 years ago, I came across a notion of higher self. Well, it was not the first time I heard about it, but in those days it was so prevalent that I started to wonder if I do have a part of myself that it's not incarnated and it's on another plane of existence. What is that part of myself doing? So one day when I was home alone and I knew that there was somewhere in our apartment a joint a friend left a year or two prior, well, I decided that I will do a trip, and that in that trip I will ask, what is my higher self doing? So before I go there, I want to add something. When we are talking about this kind of trips or out of this world experiences that happen during meditation, or especially in near-death experiences, when we are talking about this kind of experiences, we must realize that out of this world most probably means that nothing is as it is in this world. According to my experiences and what I hear from others and my deductions are from that experience is so different than ours, that what we experience in this world, that if we would bring back the memory of that, we would not know what to do with it. So in order to make sense out of it, the memory must be translated, so to speak. First for a human being, but more specifically for the one that had the experience. And I guess that's why when we have near-death experience of, I don't know, a Christian person, he would most probably see angels. Then an atheist would most probably see dead relatives and friends. And somebody who is into UFOs would most probably see aliens. And it's not that they've experienced something fundamentally different. It's just that their translation of the memory is different, because it's made for them. It's made for them to understand. Therefore, when we are talking about such experiences, we must never take them literally. It's not that package that matters. It's what inside the package that it's important. It's not the story with which it's presented, it's the underlying meaning that is important. Though the story can be nice and comforting and beautiful, that's okay. But we must never take it literally, because it's not. So let's continue with the story. So I smoked that stuff and I lay down on my couch, and nothing happened. And I said to myself, okay, I knew it. This joint is too old. Nothing will happen. But I was still lying there, because why not? And then, I don't know, maybe it was 10 minutes after I thought something must happen, then it happened. I was gone. In a moment I was gone. And I was flying inside and in between orange clouds. I knew that I was flying because I saw the clouds move past me in a way I would see them if I would fly. But that's the only way I knew I was flying, because when I was looking at myself I saw nothing. I didn't have a body. I didn't have wings to fly with. It's not that I had eyes, I just had vision. Since I didn't have a body, I did not experience cold. I did not experience humidity. I experienced, in a physical sense, I experienced nothing except the vision of flying, except the vision of those orange clouds. But what was much more extraordinary was that I did not have any concept of the past or of the future. I knew I was there, and that was all. And if you don't have any concept of the past or of the future, you don't have any baggage. There was no family, there was no friends, no enemies, no hunger, no thought of where I'm gonna sleep, nothing. If you we try to imagine what nirvana is. That was nirvana. I cannot, with our words, describe the peace that it's present in that kind of state. It was, and I was not happy about it. I was not thrilled, because those are emotions I did not have. I only had them. I knew I existed, and I saw these lovely orange clouds, and I didn't wonder why are they orange. No, I just existed there. But then, at one point, I saw a bubble, and I don't know why I was drawn to that bubble, and I went inside it. And inside that bubble there was a world, and on that world was a person, and suddenly I became that person. And as I became that person, I knew the history of that person, the situation he is in, and I acted exactly like that person would. And that person had the same issues we have, and it was an interesting story, and it was an important story. But then, as I was drawn into that body, I was pulled out of that body, and I was again back in space. And then all I thought about was, I must remember that story. That story was important. I must remember that story. And a voice, a really nice voice in my head, even though I did not have a head, but a voice in my mind said, forget about it. Let it go. You must let go. Let it go. And eventually I did. And when I let go of that story, there was nirvana again. Again, that sense of just I am, and a sense of peacefulness beyond anything one could describe in this world. But then I came across another bubble. And I went to it, and in that bubble there was another world and another person, and I was that person, and that person had a story, and I was totally in that story. And when I came out of that person and that bubble, I must remember that story. That story is important. And a voice again said, let go, let go. And I did. And there was nirvana again. And then there was another bubble. And in that bubble, there was a world. And there was a dog. And suddenly I was a dog. I do remember to this day how is a perspective of the dog, how the dog sees the world. Know how he thinks about the world, I don't remember that, but I remember how he sees it through his eyes. And then I was out of that dog and out of that world. And there were, I don't know, 3 or 4 more experiences like that. And then, at the end, when I was again flying through the orange clouds, in total peacefulness and nounness, I was suddenly back on my couch. And I was, wow, because, okay, I was told that my higher self is having experiences that are important in that moment, but the importance in a big scheme of things is totally different than we think. But I also got another present. I did not forget how that peacefulness, how that nirvana feels like. And I guess I can never lose that feeling again. This experience did not totally change my life. This world is kind of grabby, it doesn't let you go that easily. But still, after that experience, and when I was still quite immersed into this world, into this society, I always had the possibility to a nice escape. If I needed to relax myself, all I needed was to remember that feeling. And it's incredible. That feeling is incredible. But I also got something else from that experience. Even though that experience of nirvana is such a good feeling, it lacks something. It lacks experience. It lacks all the bad aspects of experience, but it lacks all the good aspects of experience. When you are in that state, you cannot taste a good food. You cannot go on a great date. You cannot take a shower after a hot day like this one. it's okay to want all that peace that is there. But we are here not because we want that peace. We are here because we want this excitement. And that's something I have quite a difficulty to explain to other people, that when we are in this body, all we want is to get out of it. But when we are out of this body, all we want is to get in a body like this. So enjoy your body, my friend. Enjoy this experience, because it's something incredible. Just don't take it too seriously, that's all.